right after the Nuggets and the Lakers game one. Man, seemed like a game that had a lot more on the line than just game one. But of course, I mean that maybe it doesn't matter. But hey, it's setting the path, setting the stage. We're getting ready, looking for the rest of the series. Is it going to be as entertaining as this? Probably not. We may not see a comeback like this as ferocious as it was that the Lakers were imposing upon the Nuggets. Every shot seemed to be going in the third quarter. It was quite amazing. Nuggets scored 72 points in the first half, and the Lakers scored 72 points in the second half. It was wild. Every shot was going in. Every three, it seemed. Well, not all the free throws, that's for sure. LeBron, Aaron Gordon. But man, didn't know how that ending was going to be, especially looking at the beginning. Obviously, 44 points in the first quarter even. Jokic was out-rebounding the entire team, the entire Lakers in the first half there. But man, guys like Bruce Brown, Caldwell Pope stepping up. 6 players in double figures for the Nuggets and only 4 for the Lakers. But hey, it's going to be a long series. And we're going to have to see guys like Russell and Schroeder and Walker step up. Reeves got really hot at the end. It was great to see that, Caldwell Pope was taking over in the third quarter, and then Anthony Davis doing his thing in the third quarter as well. Austin Reeves, of course, LeBron getting active, getting involved. I didn't know how many points LeBron had, and then I checked, and he had 22 at that time. And I thought to myself, I feel like I haven't really seen any of those points go in. But hey, man, it's gonna be a great series for sure. Man, hard to believe, man. And this is like, obviously the Lakers, they showed a lot of heart towards the end. They got it going, got it close. Hachimura was helping out, Reeves was helping out. But I was thinking about how Embiid was almost criticizing the rest of the players on his team, thinking that, hey, you guys got to step up and help me out a bit, like he said in the post-game press conference. And, oh, by the way, just quickly, Philly and Boston, that game 7 was a very interesting exhibition of what I think can be perceived as a good team versus a bad team, or a team that has tricks up their sleeve, and then another team that just relies on Embiid and Harden and whether or not their 3 balls can go in. Creating for themselves. That was the name of the game, and the Celtics just took over. And it's good to see them, But honestly, at this point, I kind of feel bad for the Sixers. I've been kind of going after them all year. I feel like I've been doing that, and it's unfortunate to see their season come to another end, obviously, and Doc Rivers getting the hook. That's just what you got to do when your team is completely anemic. It's absolutely allergic to success in the playoffs, and I mean, hard to really argue with that. Of course, I feel bad for them because I don't want to be taunting them at this point. Kind of like how I felt about the Maple Leafs, just coming up completely short against Florida in the first round. Not to get too off track, but hey, I don't feel that way about the Lakers because they're doing the complete opposite. They are pushing through. Malik Beasley was actually telling the truth when he said, I think we could be a 6th seed or a 5th or 6th seed in the West, all right? Not a play-in. He said that probably back in December or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, man. I think, Nuggets have the edge because they've got players that are more capable of getting crucial buckets in when they need it to happen, not just relying on Jokic. He's not going to be hucking up threes all the time. Murray is going to be creating shots for himself. But he's not always going to be knocking them down. You need guys that can step in and do that, and that's exactly what the Nuggets have. Their bench obviously didn't shine a whole lot because, while Jokic and Murray combined for 62, Caldwell Pope had over 20. Great game for them. But yeah, it's going to be something similar to that, and I don't think that the Lakers have the ability, unless they get Russell, Walker, and Schroeder going like that. Davis ain't going to have 40 every night. So, anyway, yeah. Victor Wembenyama going to the Spurs? I can't stop but look at this and think to myself, how are these European players, these guys from other countries, the Giannis's, the Jokic, Doncic has been with the Mavericks for a while now. What is it, 5 years now? So what is it with these guys and sticking to their teams? I'm almost thinking if the Spurs select Wembenyama, Victor will probably end up staying there for the next 10 years. These guys almost want to win. They want to succeed. They want to stick to the plan maybe a little bit more than these American guys. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's just the culture and how money is inconsequential to these immigrants. But hey, I'm excited to see what happens. Obviously, it matters a great deal if he can stay healthy and if he can work in a professional NBA system. And I don't know how much different it is from where he's playing, where he has been playing, but he's got that professional experience and he's been tested a lot for such a young guy, just like what Doncic went through, and that definitely helps a whole lot. So I think that is going to be a huge asset, and seldom do these hype and anticipation, or at least the perception thereof, because certainly there's a lot of expectation for Wembenyama, but I don't think that it's anything that is giving him a chip on his shoulder if he's suddenly off to a less than expected start. There's not going to be any of that, because I don't even think, again, this has to come back to the domestic culture, the upbringing that you're given. Wembenyama's not surrounded by all these kids in their Air Force Ones and their baggy sweatpants with their phones and all the social media that comes with it, and all the money as well that guys like Zion and Ja had faced when they started into the league. Paulo Banchero, these guys that are coming up, these young guys, that it's kind of just all about the money. But again, if Popovich is there for a long enough time, that Victor is there, obviously coming up into the NBA, getting ready, getting set, and becoming more and more of a professional. That's the only kind of avenue that Victor's going to get if he's under Coach Popovich. So definitely a best case scenario with him, with them, and of course the organization, because it was very need of rebuilding, which is crazy how quickly these things are just happening now. I was watching The Last Dance, episode 2 and 3, I think it was today, and Jordan made a joke about how the Cubs have been rebuilding for 42 years. This was back in the 90s, and of course the whole point of that being we don't know how long it's going to take for rebuilds. Rebuilds have changed. And right now the Spurs are looking dead on at making a lot of changes fast. Of course, they got plenty of cap space, plenty of draft picks, and now it's looking like, in 5 years they're going to be a contender, no question about it. So, MLB is cruising along. Yankees and Blue Jays, talk of the town, talking some trash to one another, I'd say. Getting under each other's skin. It is not looking like a friendly, cordial, congenial, jousting match, you could say. I don't know. It looks like these two guys, for Vladdy to say a couple months, or maybe it was just even a month ago, Vladdy was like, I'll never be a Yankee. Yeah, you'll never be a Yankee because you're never going to cut your hair. You're never going to shave your beard. Okay, that goes for Bichette as well. You guys are probably never going to join the Yankees, all right? I assume that's the case. But man, after today, I don't know what it's been, but we still have 2 more games of this series, and I don't think there's going to be anything crazy. There's not going to be any brawls or bench clearing, okay? That stuff is also completely ridiculous. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about the Blue Jays, but they're just becoming more and more unlikable. They lost again to the Yankees 6-3. I believe 6-3. 7-4 and then 6-3 so far in this. It's just, oh man, like honestly, the whole thing with Judge and looking at his dugout, I find that kind of funny. Obviously, it didn't help when he did it by hitting an absolute bomb to center field right after, but of course, he just follows it up the very next day with another shot, 450 feet or whatever it was, to center field. Again, a final FU perhaps to Toronto. Keeping it super, super short and simple, and keeping it quiet as well. Very succinct with these press conferences. No explanations. You're getting nothing, media. All right, you do not get to talk about anything. All right, I won't. Okay, I won't. Because the fact of the matter is, whether Judge was cheating or not, I mean, obviously he wasn't. But the point is, in 2 weeks, nobody's going to even care about this, all right? We got to move on. We got games to play, all right? We got business to take care of. And that's all that the Yankees are thinking about. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays cannot figure out how to manufacture some runs. Yankees lose their starting pitcher, Domingo Germán, in, what was it, the fourth inning. He came out, he finished 3, got sent to the locker room in the fourth inning for some sticky stuff. The umpire said it was the stickiest he's ever seen. Oh, man, how do you quantify stick? But anyway, regardless of the whatever it was, I don't think, I mean, Germán, he had residual on his pants, so it's not as clandestine then as you may think it is. It's just a little bit more out in the open. And so, maybe he's going to be suspended like Scherzer was. But meanwhile, the Blue Jays, I want to talk about them a little bit because, man, it is tough to watch them. It's been very difficult. Because Manoah, man, he should bring his dog out to the dugout because he is walking. And a lot of pitchers have kind of been seeing this recently too. It's not just Manoah, maybe not finding his strike zone. People were saying maybe, he's a big guy and the pitch clock's making him hurry up a little bit more. I don't think that particularly has anything to do with it because we're seeing a lot of pitchers that are also struggling with that. Maybe it's just an adjustment thing. Obviously, with a lot of pitchers like Dylan Cease, Lance Lynn, Nestor, Scherzer, Sandy, guys are getting on base against them. And this isn't going to continue, I don't think. I hope not. Maybe it's just a groove. A lot of pitchers have great starts and a lot of pitchers have bad starts. We saw DeGrom allowed 5 runs in 3 innings, I think it was, in his first game of the year, and eventually he just kind of got it together, obviously, on the injured list right now. But a lot of pitchers, they may have a tough beginning. Aaron Nola, the ERA is a little bit high. Verlander had a rough outing Tuesday. But this won't continue. Maybe guys are still going to reach, but as long as the ERA is low, that's ultimately what matters a little bit more here. No quick solution for Manoah. I think he just needs a few quick games under his bat. Like play Oakland or play Cincinnati and get a little bit more confidence. Go 7 innings. Don't get he has not been going deep, and that's what he did a lot of last year. Obviously, because he was able to get scoreless innings at an abundance. So it's gonna have to come. Obviously, the Blue Jays are gonna have to score a little bit more than 3 runs a game. So the Yankees have been definitely turning it up. Judge, obviously, incredible. Yeah, where do guys like him come from? And how do we make more of them?